Polar bear. Nothing beats the polar bear when it comes to raw size among living bears, and everything about it seems built for one purpose: surviving brutal Arctic cold. Under that thick white fur sits black skin and a heavy layer of fat, both working together to keep the animal warm. Even its paws are oversized, which turns out to be handy twice over. They spread the bear's weight across thin ice and double as paddles once it hits the water. Seals make up most of its diet, and polar bears will cross staggering distances over sea ice just to find them. It sits at the top of the Arctic food chain, and that position alone makes it central to how the whole ecosystem functions. Brown bear. Few bears cover as much ground as the brown bear. You'll find them scattered across North America, Europe, and Asia. Size varies a lot from population to population, largely shaped by local food supply and habitat. They're omnivores through and through, eating anything from berries and fish to insects and other mammals. That flexibility is really the secret to their success. It's let them settle into everything from dense forest to high mountain terrain.
Grizzly bear. Grizzlies are a North American subspecies of brown bear, and you can usually spot one by the muscular hump sitting over its shoulders. They're strong diggers, and come salmon spawning season, they're famous for wading into rivers to catch fish. Their reputation suggests aggression, but in practice, they tend to steer clear of people if there's room to do so. Still, few animals feel as symbolic of the American wilderness as the grizzly. Kodiak bear. Found nowhere else but Alaska's Kodiak archipelago, the Kodiak bear ranks among the biggest bears alive today. Salmon, berries, and coastal plants are all plentiful there, and that steady food supply is a big part of why these bears grow so large. They're closely tied to brown bears genetically, but generations of isolation on the islands have shaped them into a population with its own distinct traits.
American black bear. This is the bear you're most likely to run into across North America. It's by far the most common. The name is a bit misleading though, since coat color ranges widely. Black, brown, cinnamon, and occasionally even white. They're impressive climbers, often scrambling up trees to dodge danger rather than fight it out. Diet-wise, they'll eat almost anything. Fruit, nuts, insects, fish, small animals, which explains how they've managed to adapt to so many different habitats. Asian black bear. A pale crescent marking across the chest is the giveaway for this species, found in forests throughout much of Asia. They spend a lot of time up in trees, hunting down fruit, nuts, and honey. Generally, they keep to themselves and avoid conflict, though they can turn defensive quickly if cornered. Their foraging habits also make them useful seed spreaders for the forests they live in.
Spectacled bear. South America's only native bear gets its name from the pale rings around its eyes, markings that look a bit like glasses, though no two bears wear the same pattern. Home for these bears is mostly the Andes, and their diet leans heavily toward plants, fruit, and cacti, making them one of the most plant-based bears out there. That grazing habit ends up benefiting the mountain forests they call home. Sloth bear. Native to the Indian subcontinent, the sloth bear stands out for its long, messy-looking fur and pale chest patch. Its diet is unusual, too. Termites and ants make up the bulk of it, torn open with long claws and then vacuumed up through powerful, flexible lips. Between the diet and the look, it's one of the odder members of the bear family.
Sun bear. Smallest of all the bear species, the sun bear lives in Southeast Asia's tropical forests. A short black coat and a golden-orange chest patch, the sun it's named for, make it easy to identify. Its tongue is remarkably long, perfect for fishing honey and insects out of tight spaces inside tree trunks. Much of its life plays out up in the branches, where it climbs with real skill. Giant panda. Instantly recognizable thanks to its black and white coat, the giant panda calls the bamboo forests of central China home. Bamboo makes up nearly its whole diet, which is strange given it technically belongs to the order of carnivorous mammals. One adaptation makes this possible: a modified wrist bone that acts like a thumb, letting the panda grip bamboo stalks with surprising precision. Conservation work over the past few decades has helped wild panda numbers climb back up.